With Jurassic World Rebirth finally being out in cinemas now and me having watched it, I thought I'd take it upon myself to rank all of Jurassic Park and World movies from worst to best. Now, I have a bit of a confession to make to you all. Before recently, the only Jurassic movie I'd ever seen was Dominion. You heard that right. Fucking Dominion. But with the thought that Rebirth was releasing soon, I thought I would watch all of them in preparation, and man, this isn't really a good franchise at all. I mean, sure, the original is fantastic, which we'll talk about later, but other than that, there's not much good in this franchise. I even have a super hot take about one of these beloved movies that you guys are not going to believe. So, without further ado, let's get into this. Jurassic Park franchise ranked from worst to best. Coming in number 7, dead last for me, is Dominion. Do I even need to say why? This movie's just absolutely horrendous. It's messy, it's got bad character writing, the story is completely nonsensical. I mean, this is the most nonsensical these movies have ever gotten, if you ask me. It doesn't help that when it's not nonsensical, it's just boring. I mean, this plot just isn't interesting at all, and it's not interesting enough to carry it to 2 hours and 30 minutes long. That is so long for absolutely no reason whatsoever. They do just stuff so much shit into this movie hoping it sticks, and spoiler alert, basically none of it does. Also, this movie isn't even about dinosaurs, it's about locusts and this clone girl. I mean, do I have to say anything else? This movie's just absolutely terrible. Please do not watch it if you've never seen it before. It is not worth your time at all, and getting through it for the marathon was a genuine struggle. Number 6 is The Lost World. Now, this is the hot take I was talking about, because so many people love this movie. So many people defend it, saying, yeah, it was hated when it came out, but I love it because I grew up with it. Having not grown up with this film, though, I thought it was terrible. To begin with, any of the good writing that the first movie has is just gone completely. What's also gone is the magic. There's no magic to this movie. It feels like bigger is better. Spoiler alert, that's an ongoing problem with all of the Jurassic Park sequels. And I mean all of them, literally all of them. The characters are poorly written in this movie as well because they're just boring, especially Jeff Goldblum's character. He's just so boring now. There's nothing interesting to him now. It's also worth noting that the performances in this movie are weirdly bad. Like, they're not awful, and I've seen worse performances, but I don't know, a lot of them just feel phoned in and like they don't want to be there. Any of the clever themes and messaging from the first movie are just gone completely, which is another trend that these sequels have. This movie was just also such a chore to get through. I mean, it dragged on and on and on. I don't remember the runtime. It might have had the same runtime as the original. Matt, put the runtime on screen now, thank you. But regardless of whether it had a longer runtime, shorter runtime, or the same runtime, it just felt like much more of a chore and drag to get through. And there was a point where I thought it was about to end, where everything was coming to an end and it was going to conclude. And I checked the runtime and there's another 20 minutes left. I'm like, oh god, this is dragging on so much, just make it stop. Ultimately, I wish I was a part of the fan base for this movie, but I'm not, sadly. So unfortunately, The Lost World comes in 6th place. Coming in at number 5, we have the latest in the franchise, Jurassic World Rebirth. Look, I did a video on this, go check that out. I'm not going to talk about it too much here because of that, but this movie just sucked. It wasn't good at all. Bad writing, boring characters, felt like 2 movies mixed into one. Bad movie. Bad movie. Go watch my video about it. Now, for number 5... Am I counting correct? Oh, I've just lost the ability to count. Oh, keep this in. They need to know that I'm stupid. I feel like I've miscounted here. Hold on. Yes, I have. Okay, now I'm going to do numbers 4 and 3, just both together, because both these movies are kind of the same for me, and that's Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Both of these movies just aren't very good. Now I'll start with the things I like about these movies. Chris Pratt is enjoyable to watch, even if he's not given a good character to work with. He is very enjoyable in any movie he's in, and I'll fight anyone on that. I also do think both these movies have a pretty nice visual flair to them. Fallen Kingdom definitely has a bit of visual flair to it than the first Jurassic World. Fallen Kingdom definitely has a better visual flair than the first Jurassic World, but they both have really nice visual flares to them. But where these movies fail for me is just the plot department. The plots suck, the plots are boring, they're generic, they're predictable, they don't give you anything fun to work with. Well, for the most part, because I will say the reason I think Fallen Kingdom's a slightly better movie than the first Jurassic World is because the first 30 to 40 minutes of Fallen Kingdom are really good. Like, actually some really solid stuff. But then after those first 30 to 40 minutes, it just falls off completely. I can't even explain how or why. It just becomes a drag to get through. It gets so tedious and you just stop caring about anything that's going on. I also forgot to mention this in Dominion, but man, I don't know how to feel about Fallen Kingdom introducing the whole idea of a character that's a clone. Well, it's kind of retconned a little bit in Dominion, saying, well, she's technically not fully a clone, but... I just really don't know how I feel about that, man. Because look, a lot of the magic of Jurassic Park is that, yes, dinosaurs existing in modern day isn't realistic. But that original movie tackled it in such a way where you could think, yeah, this is probably how it would actually go about happening. And it set a really grounded, yet still at the same time really fun tone. But just the sequels and the Jurassic World movies especially just completely lost that and just started going off the rails. And honestly, I think all the goofy stuff, all the unrealistic stuff is at its worst in Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. But yeah, Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, kind of the same movies for me. I don't like them. I don't hate them either. They're not absolutely terrible or anything. I actually give them ratings of 2.5 out of 5, which is close to being okay. Because these movies were close to just being dumb fun times. They just needed to tweak the plots just a little bit and the characters just a little bit to make them actually serviceable fun. Coming in at number 2 is the only movie outside the original that I actually enjoy, and that's Jurassic Park 3. Now, yes, this movie is stupid, this movie is dumb, this movie makes no sense, this movie doesn't have a great plot. But you know what this movie is also? Fun. Now, I know it's a bit hypocritical of me complaining that the world movies feel dumb and that being a bad thing, but the thing with Jurassic Park 3, I don't know, it feels sincere. It feels like it just came from a place of them just wanting to have fun instead of trying to overcomplicate everything. Man, I'm really learning that I don't actually have a lot to say about this movie. It's just a fun time. Honestly, I just don't have much to say about this one. It's a fun time, nothing compared to the original, but it's the only one outside of the original that I can say I enjoyed. I had a good time with, even if it wasn't great or even that good. But it was fun. Don't have a lot to say about it. I'm going to stop talking about it now. Let's move on to number 1, which everyone knows is Jurassic Park. What can I say about this movie that hasn't been said a million times over? It's fantastic. Now, I think it's slightly overrated in the sense that I don't think it's one of the best movies of all time. Like, it doesn't crack my top 20, 30, or even 40 probably. But I still do love this film. I watched it for the first time last week and it does just hold up completely. Alright, I tell a bit of a lie, and a lot of people are going to crucify me for this, but I gotta be honest, the CGI of this movie doesn't look great by today's standards. I'm not saying that's necessarily an issue of the film, it is just something that takes me out of a few of the scenes, because you can tell that, yeah, this is early 90s CGI, it's gonna look off, it's gonna look rough. But man, for the time it was made, it's really, really impressive. How big was the budget of this movie? I'm gonna search that up, hold on. Okay, I just searched it up, and this movie had a budget of $63 million. So, you know, yeah, obviously the CGI isn't going to age that well. Early 90s CGI, $63 million budget, but for the time it was made and the budget it was made for, it's really, really impressive. But man, I just need to talk about how fantastic the writing in this movie is. Great characters that just keep you hooked with how they manage to tie into the themes and messaging of the movie. A story that's actually interesting and actually makes sense and never feels too silly, but never feels too serious either. So much magic is just in this movie, and there was so much passion and energy put into it by Spielberg and crew. I will say that yes, maybe there is a point where the movie does kind of meander a little bit, and it doesn't need to be as long as it is. It's not a long movie, but for what it is, I feel like they could trim it down just a little bit. But this movie is fantastic. I'm not going to be a contrarian and say I don't think this movie's great. I mean, I'll be a contrarian and say I don't think it's one of the best movies ever made. But I love it. I think it's brilliant. I think it's just an all-around fantastic experience. And I do kind of wish I grew up with this movie, because if I grew up with it, I feel like I would call it one of the best movies ever made for nostalgic purposes. But I still love the movie, you know what, that's all that matters at the end. It's just so good. If you've never seen this movie like me up until last week, then please do yourself a favour and watch it. It's just, to this day, so incredibly charming, magical, well-written characters, a good investing story, amazing themes and messages that even feel like they hold up to this day. I mean, these messages and themes feel like they're more relevant than ever in today's times. But yeah, number 1, Jurassic Park. That's not really a shock to anybody. Sorry Matthew, this is kind of awkward, but I forgot to talk about the fact that in the original Jurassic Park, the way they present the dinosaurs is so cool and stylistic and intimidating. Really keeps you on the edge of your seat when the characters are in danger. And yeah, I just forgot to mention that, so I'm so sorry, but can you try fitting this into me talking about the first movie? I'm so sorry. But anyway, yeah, that about does it for my Jurassic Park ranking. Do you agree with my list? Do you disagree with my list? Let's be honest, I put The Lost World in second to last place, so you probably disagree. At the end of the day, it's all just my opinion. If you have a different opinion, that's great, and I'm more happy to hear you out in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Please, please, please be sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next Friday with my review of Superman, and then a few days later with my ranking of all the Superman movies. But until then, thank you for watching, and bye bye.